Hestronodototo? Andy, I don't even know what that one is.
What's my mother's maiden name?
So your mother's maiden name is Andy Hestronodototo Thompson.
My mother's maiden name begin with my name.
Making fun of John Eric's mom's name.
Yeah, what the hell?
Naming conventions in your family are weird, Andy. We don't question them.
I'm tired of people making fun of my family traditions of everyone having the same name.
This is my mother, John Eric, and my father, John Eric. My uncle, John Eric. My brother, John Eric. My sister, John Eric.
My other sister, Susan, she's adopted.
Yeah, she. We didn't get to pick that one. What do you mean you pick one of each of the rest?
I feel like the family meetings would be like, so John Eric, please pass the button, or please pass the mashed potatoes, and there's never any confusion at the table.
Yeah, it would be
everybody knows exactly who they're talking to.
It would be some George Foreman shit where you have like 4 sons, or no, what? He has 8 sons. He has 8 sons named George.
That's terrible.
What an awful man. I know you're not listening, George Foreman, and hell, you might be dead by now, but fuck you. Why would you do that?
Do you
Hitting
hate
the
like
head
that
real
much?
hard, John Eric. That's why. Pretty sure that's it.
His sons were named like George, 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 and his daughter was named Georgina or something like that, or like Georgette.
Awful.
What a douche.
And people thought Frank Zappa was bad.
Well,
It was okay.
I mean, he named one of his sons Dweezil.
And his daughter, Moon Unit.
Moon Unit.
That's amazing.
I know Pin from Penn and Teller named his daughter, because his last name is Gillette, so he named his daughter Moxie, and then her middle name, all one word, is Crime Fighter, and her last name is Gillette. And somebody on the news asked him once, he was like, yeah, my son's name is Zoltan Gillette, no middle name, because they don't matter, and my daughter's name is Moxie Crime Fighter Gillette. And they were like, why Crime Fighter? And he was like, because middle names don't matter.
Nice.
So
what
I can
a
put
weird way to
whatever
go about
I
it.
want.
Lovely.
All right.
Is it?
We were, somebody asked me, they were like, in my Witcher game last night, they went, do we have a name for this guy? And I was like, no. And I always have a random name generator thing open. And I was like, but his name is, and they went, Steve. And I was like, yep, that's his name. It is Steve. It's like Steve, but with an H after the S. Steve.
Steve.
Well, his parents hated him.
Yeah, they did.
It's a family name. What were they going to pick? John Eric? Come on.
Come on.
They explicitly did not love that child, so Steve it is.
So Steve is.
Steve.
You can only fly so close to the sun. It's true.
Yes.
Damn it.
This is the most self-deprecating I've ever seen John Eric be. Are you depressed? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm good. See,
Okay.
the kayfabe is that I'm pompous. In real life, I'm just real good. You're not pompous if you're just being honest about your exceptionality. Exceptionalness? Exceptitude.
The fact that we have
All of
to
those words
discuss
work.
that.
You could,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you chose 2 extra ones.
I went through this joke at work the other day. The like blah blah John's pompous, and I was like, look, like I'm not over here trying to be better than everyone. Like it's just happening, and I'm sorry if that makes you guys. I'm sorry if that makes you guys feel less, but I can't just turn it off. That's not how it works. And Scott was like, yeah, and he's also real humble, and I was like, humility is the tool of the unexceptional, Scott. And we've already put me well out of that category. So, I'm sorry, I don't really have that one in my wheelhouse.
Fuck.
So, Eberron.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get
That's
the
right. We're
party
role
going.
playing today.
Yeah, let's play a role or something.
Yes.
Or not, I guess. Are we going?
Starch Mom goes, and this is why I use Twitch for this one stream. Yes, I'll take that. So,
I'll take that every single day.
I'll take that. We buy those all day. So, in last week's game, the players went over here, or they started over here in this warm room, which they have dubbed the Warm Room, which I thought was a great name for it. They rested for the night. They woke up and like prepped their stuff, drank some potions, decided they were going to go up here and climb these stairs. And they
The Charlatan name.
and they climbed these stairs to the second floor. And then they found more stairs, and they were like, well, we're going to climb those too. And on the third floor, they ended up right here. And they decided, well, we might as well just see what's up. And so when they decided to see what's up and open this door, which was very, very frozen and covered in ice, they went into this room and they saw two huge statues made of, looked like black stone, maybe black ice. And they decided, we don't want that. The trigger to we don't want that was one of the statues moved and basically woke up the other one. And they were like, nah, let's just go. And so they went back down to the first floor. And then on the first floor... Oh, no, wait, sorry. They went back down to the second floor. My mistake.
Pretty critical to this next bit.
Yeah. And then on the second floor, they acted like sniveling cowards. Coming down this way, going in here, and going, hey, this looks like a fun puzzle room. Let's skip past it. And so they set up a crossbow, and they shot that set up a ballista, shot that ballista over here, zip-lined over, and everybody made it except for Zeract. And then Zeract was stuck down here trying to figure out this puzzle. And so as they were figuring out the puzzle and trying to open the door, Zeract basically in this puzzle was limited to just cardinal movements. And as soon as she took a step, she would slide all the way until she hit the wall, which made getting anywhere very difficult. So she was doing that. They were trying to open the door, and then they saw some Dolgars coming in and just ice skating menacingly like a gang from the Warriors behind them. And they were like, well, we got to go. And so they went. Everybody piled into this room. As they piled into this room, Dandarin shut the door and felt a weird kind of tingle on his neck, which Shrewt was unable to identify because he'd never seen one. But Lumio was able to identify as a dragon mark, which was a little weird to Dandarin because Dandarin is not from a dragon marked family. So that's odd. Then they were in this room and they were like, what should we do here? And they were kind of like prepping for some stuff. And then this little window in the wall opened and a Dolgaunt just shot a bunch of ice at them. And after that happened, the window shut. And as they were trying to figure stuff out and get this door open, it walked all the way out here and all the way around and then opened this one instead. And shot it from there. And it was on its way back to do the same thing from the other side. But people started shooting arrows and stuff at it, like big meanies. And then after that, everybody was sort of fighting the Dolgaunt. They were fighting these other Dolgaunts, which were sort of just hanging there. And one of them tried to just drive it basically had another pair of tentacles on its back, and it tried to drive those down Zerac's throat, which was, I'm assuming, unpleasant for her since she started getting her pact abilities drained away. And while they were dealing with this, on the other side, Tertia and Delian and Sharut and Dandarin were fighting Dolgru, which is what can happen if you decide, well, why don't we just taint some ogres? And it's sort of this huge, like, six-eyed, fanged thing with, like, lobster claws and really tough armor. And an ability to regenerate, but they didn't really find that out, thanks to Dandarin's Beishk axe. And that is where we find ourselves now. So, I don't know why Delian is through there. I think I might have moved on.
I don't know.
There we go.
When I saw it, I was like, I'm pretty sure he would not have gone anywhere near there.
Yeah, you last I saw you popped in here, and then this is where the team kind of stopped because after the fight, Dandarin was going around checking everybody, asking if they were okay, and Tertia then moved in here, and Sharut went in here to see if Lumio and Zarak needed anything. So I think that's about where we are. So that's the quick recap, and now we'll start. What's up, guys?
Have these stupid vines faded away yet?
Vines? They're big chunks of rock. Aren't they adorable?
Whatever. Have these stupid impediments to walking faded away yet?
Yeah, after, like I said, after a minute, they're gone. Like they don't last for very long. So
Cool. Now Zarak is going to get multiple angles on these sigils so that she can sketch them.
yeah, it's rough. Like the drawings are layered over each other pretty much perfectly, and it's hard to get a good read on exactly what's going on here. You've managed to determine that these are like the unsummon or like the unbind. But as far as more than that, you're not completely sure.
At the bare minimum, she will transcribe the whole of the thing so that she can research it and try and pull it apart later.
Okay. Yeah, it'll take you a couple minutes. Like, you're skilled at quickly sketching out a pack sign. You might do it a little bit slower since this one's new to you.
Yep.
But yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
As Zarak works, Sharut is going to say,
Similar circle in other room, but has body in center.
That's likely to have must the symbols also, unless it's part of the process of summoning in the first place, which I'll ascertain when I've gone into that room.
and he nods. And he's going to go over to this desk, and he's going to...
Lumio's already searching the desk.
What's that?
Lumio's already searching the desk.
Oh, well, he just needs a, he needs a side of it, and he's going to just make more cells.
Oh, okay. So, like, you're like just using the top of the desk over here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And as he does so, he's going to ask Lumio.
Lumio, NB eyes, please. Sharut need make salves for us to progress.
And he's basically asking Lumio if he can also search the other room on his behalf.
You
Is he-
can speak Goblin with me so that it is more easy to converse. I am quite well versed in your tongue.
Forgive me, I often forget, and believe it is better to speak in the common tongue so our whole party can understand. I do appreciate the offer, though.
Oh, happily. I just know that a fair number of us do speak Goblin, so it isn't as secretive as it would be at first glance. But I will do so. Thank you. Lumio's noticed the small bedside table and is going to go search that.
Okay. Yeah. What you find in there is basically just going to be like little odds and ends, little knickknacks. There's like a shattered, probably because it frozen while full, vial of ink. You see a couple of like silver nibbed pens and a small bag of Dakani coinage.
I'll deposit the pins in the bag. I know somebody will probably stab someone with those if left unattended, so I put all those away in a safe spot and begin moving on.
Yes, you're adventuring
Weirdo
with
would do that.
nothing but barbarians.
To do such a thing with a writing implement, I mean, honestly.
All right.
Yeah. And then I think I've swept the area, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out
Okay.
to start exploring the main chamber.
All right. Dandarin will try to put himself in a spot where he would be of the most use. He's not necessarily the most perceptive person, so he's going to just kind of try to keep everybody in his vision, and if anybody shouts out, he'll like run to help. So he's kind of just doing this over and over. Delian, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to regroup with everybody because I just saw a giant thing try to take everybody's life, including my own. Therefore, strength in numbers seems to have prevailed past, so I'm gonna just try to work my way through and just try to be in the masses.
Yeah. Can you give me an escape artist check if you're going through here? Like
Sure.
These aren't doors necessarily.
Yeah.
Like realistically, Dandarin is not going this far into the room. He's more doing
Okay.
checking. Sorry.
I saw that and I was like, man, he's succeeding quite well.
It's like his armor isn't even there.
Yeah. Escape artist, you say?
Yep.
So if he, like, as soon as he if he's getting somewhat stuck, he's not going to try to force his way through. He'll just go through the big opening here.
Okay. Man, you have... Oh, because of your armor check penalty and stuff. I was like, why are you bad at escape artists? Yeah, you get to the point where it's like, you're not... It's not as tight a squeeze for you as it was for Zeract and Lumio, but it's still not comfortable. And so, yeah, you probably go, I'm just going to go around.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's more of what he would be doing.
Sounds good. Tertia, Zeract has kind of like slipped back over and walked through into the other room. What are you doing as you see Dandarin kind of like waiting and then Delian walk away?
And I'll probably just like explore in this area.
Okay.
No one's really told me what to avoid, so
Sounds good. And if that's the case, Dandarin is going to walk out here and then walk up here, and he's going to set about the process of moving these things, where they're all like tangled in at the edges. He's basically just going to take out his hammer and start like bending or breaking those parts away so that he can clear you guys a door if he needs to, and then we'll open that. So I don't have the ability to edit this map in here, but these will essentially all just be piled up over here.
or turn into rubble.
Well, he's not just shattering them because they might be useful later. He's just getting them out of the way. So we'll say that they are set in... I won't use that. I'll use the draw shape. They'll be set right there.
Make brown.
All right. And Zeract.
Zeract is she sees the body. She's confused about the extra arms sticking out of the side of its head. It's got some honking limbs just coming right out of where its ears ought to be.
I didn't have any corpses that were properly hobgoblin. So we'll say those are tentacles.
Sure. Yeah. Just the proportions.
These elves from the past are really weird.
Really loving it.
I always thought that was the weirdest design for elves, where it's like, nah, make their ears 2 feet long and make their eyebrows 5 feet long. I want them to know if they can fit their body through holes like a cat.
The reason that they're so dexterous is because it's a social faux pas to get your eyebrows tangled.
Yeah.
With anybody else's, and man, that's fucking hard. You get in an elevator, and shit's rough. You know.
I'm sure there's some like...
That's why they outlawed those a while ago.
There's some elf
It
in those
does.
settings that just paints using his eyebrows.
It does tell them which direction the wind is blowing, though.
That's why elves are such good archers. They are a natural windsock.
It's not just that, but they sense the vibrations in the air, so they're really just giant antenna. Is what it is. So elves are partially bug.
We can turn literally nothing into a 5-minute bit.
No.
I once saw an elf knock a man out when he was surprised.
The elf didn't even move. His eyebrows just whipped forward.
All right. We're done. We're done with this. All right. So there's a dead body. It's a dead hobgoblin body. Is it super froze?
So it is. It is a Dolgaunt body. It is super frozen. It's not. How can I put it? It's not like encased in ice. It's not like there's 6 inches covering it or anything like that. But it does look frozen. And it does still have, the marks that the other one had on it. It looks like this one has similar things on it. They're just not glowing.
Are these the same markings? The same exit markings that are in the other room? Okay. In that case, Zeract is gonna go look. Oh, there's people here. She's gonna push past people. And she's gonna go look at the body that had the markings on it and start to pick it up and move them around and try and figure out what's going on there.
Yeah. Sure. As she's doing this, can you give me a will save?
That's so nice. I don't even have to.
So you start experiencing this really painful process when you kneel down to pick him up. Like the runes are still kind of glowing on him, and you're feeling extremely cold as you're doing it, and your limbs kind of just lock up, and that sort of hatred of arcane, not all arcane things, but the pompous kind of arcane, the wizards, those folks, those thoughts that pervade you because of Perwin Pervon and because of Azadi start to sort of fade from your head. And it sounds like, to you, they're being overridden.
Oh, well, that's not the decision that I made today at all, and so she's gonna stop and back away from the corpse.
Can you give me a fortitude save, please? So you are telling your body to make that move. You are telling your body to stand up and move away from this thing. But as you're doing it, you're feeling almost like a burn or like a brand. You can't really see much of your body because Zeract goes around pretty clothed, except for the face. You can't see your skin, but you're feeling this trailing frosty burn just writhing up your arm, and you can't really move away from it, away from the body. It's like you're frozen in the spot.
Is she able to shout?
Yeah, she can shout.
Then she will shout for Dandarin and exclaim that she is frozen and needs to be pulled away from here.
Okay. And Dandarin goes, "Oh, I'm coming," and he will move over to you as quick as he can without falling, and he will grab you and then just yank you away. And can you give me a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
So on this body, you're able to see the sort of glowing tracery of the sigils. Just the glow fades out, and it's like inch by inch by inch. And it's right now it's sort of fading out on the arm. And as it starts to fade out, climbing up the shoulder, you're feeling it burn on your shoulder.
Zeract is going to take off the glove for that arm.
You have, it looks like a swirling tattoo of it hasn't necessarily burned into your flesh, but you have those like shifter tufts of hair on the forearms. You have to like move them aside a little bit, but you have the like you can see that there is this sort of like silver blue tracery on your forearm, and it wraps around and it goes up to your elbow. It's across your hand. You at the moment no longer feel the presence of Azazadi. You feel something instead that's very, very foreign to you. And I mean foreign as in like alien. This is not a draconic mage's presence or something like that. This is something that is altogether somewhat like it's just foreign. Also, the personality influence of Azazadi is gone. Instead, you feel like you're really mellow and pleasant, which is kind of at war with the whole general demeanor of like Perwin Pervon right now.
So Zeract has experience, albeit not always successful experience, but experience in kind of channeling and managing the presence of spirits as they fall into her. Is it possible to make a binding check here, potentially at a penalty, to see if she can kind of move that down the same channels?
Sure. Give me so you can give me yes. First, give me the binding check. Give me a binding check and see what you can do with this. I have this Star Wars game installed on my phone, and I guess like a trigger for it is like around 7:30, and so I keep going. Like I don't know if you guys can actually hear the lightsaber sounds, but I keep going like, "Give me a check," and it'll like ignite a lightsaber sound. So I'll be like, all right, Zeract, I'm going to need you to give me a perception check. And it's like,
not that kind of perception.
And it's like, oh, some shit's about to go down.
It's treason, then.
It's treason, then. Okay, you have managed to twist whatever is happening to you into a good pact. Not that you know who the pact is to.
Right.
But instead of fighting this, you sort of like opened yourself up and let it happen, and the tracery that was like sort of burning itself onto you before, this like really unpleasant feeling stops being quite as unpleasant. It's still marking you. You know that it's marking you, but it's not so much like, beating that mark into you as it is just tattooing it.
Neat.
And Dandarin's going, what do you need, Zeract? Are you all right? Should I get your root?
It's not a wound as such, but there are energies here that are still active, and I didn't think until I touched the aberration there. And like she'll kind of like she'll lift her hand up and trace so he can see the new sort of tattoo, that's the pattern that's on her skin. It's shifting off of that and onto me, but I think I've gotten control of it. I just need to figure out what it is first.
And Dandarin goes, you too, huh? And he kind of like pulls down his collar so you can see the dragon mark. And he goes, Tattoo Castle. Maybe that's what this is.
That's the name of it now.
Those are supposed to happen under certain circumstances, so perhaps you've triggered something latent in your family's history or something new.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't quite explain you. I didn't think that,
Oh, no, these are entirely different.
Oh.
Yours is a dragon mark, and mine is whatever the hell this is.
Oh. Well.
It's fine.
Let me know if you need anything. I'll just be checking in with everyone else. Mm-hmm. And he starts moving along this way. And as he does, you feel this kind of like pained scream as that presence, that like bound presence of Perwin Pervon just gets yanked from your body. Like you've managed to sort of regain your feet, and you had Dandarin, and he walks off, and you just collapse to your knees again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start feeling this like, and for a second, like that distaste that you had fades. You know, that distaste of Lumio and like the magic of the castle and that sort of stuff fades. Mm-hmm. And then it starts kind of coming back in force, and you like have this sick smile kind of playing up on your face, and you feel like it's like your whole mouth is just made of canines.
Well, Zarek's gonna try and do the same thing with this one.
Okay.
And kind of ride it if she can.
You do what you can, but you realize that the last presence was alien, but it was relatively mellow. This one is violent and almost bloodthirsty, and the things that it calls for are maybe a bit beyond the bounds of things that Zarak would want to do. Mm-hmm. And you're unable to, without proper study, you're not really able to like make your case, and you aren't able to get a proper bind on it.
She's going to. She needs to figure out what the fuck this did and the images that it's put together. And she's going to go here.
Okay.
Okay, this looks like a kitchen.
Yeah, it's a kitchen.
Great. She shuts the door. She's going to pull off most of the external clothing that she has and try and like sit down on it so she's not just on the cold floor. Not that it really matters because endure elements happens regardless.
Yeah.
And just start drawing out the pieces, trying to figure out what the hell is bound to her at this point.
Okay, like at this point, it's kind of going down your other arm, mm-hmm. and from where it crossed over your shoulders, it's climbing down your left arm from your right, and then when it kind of hits your fingertips, the bit that's on your upper chest or on the collarbone starts like tracing its way down, and you realize that it's probably pretty good that you decided to kind of, remove your clothing so that you can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. Because as you're moving and trying to get a look at stuff, you realize that over the course of the last minute, you've grown a dorsal fin, which probably would have been very uncomfortable under your chainmail and heavy backpack.
That's true. Yeah, that's not usual. All right.
Can you give me a knowledge planes roll mm-hmm. to try to identify these? So you are able to identify the sign that's currently covering your sort of like the right arm and the kind of upper right torso as that mm-hmm. of Vishgurv, the aberrant of time eternal.
Okay.
Vishgurv is a spirit that's about both kind of changing things, but also like leaving them in stasis. And Vishgurv comes with some aquatic capabilities, and some transformative capabilities. And you can feel that mellow alien presence there in your mind. You currently have a good pact with Vishgurv. Okay. You, in fact, have a capstone empowerment pact with Vishgurv.
Nice.
You give me another one.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever this thing is that has taken over the left half of your torso, you have no idea. However, you know that your teeth now, all of them, are sharp. They are just like, and you're pretty sure that you also have more of them at the moment. You also have a dorsal fin, and as you try to like figure out what's going on with this and like maybe kind of tap into the abilities a little bit, like blood is like oozing from your mouth. Whenever you use one of these abilities, blood just kind of trickles from the corner of your mouth.
Is it like Does it seem like it's because Zeract is hurting herself?
Nope.
No.
It just seems
okay. It's
like
not a wound. It just shows up.
yeah, it just shows up. Like you know that this is the physical sign of the thing, but you don't know what the thing is. You haven't studied this one.
Okay.
Also, the personality influence of this one is you disdain arcane magic and those who employ it, and you cannot enter a fresh body of water, which is why you were cool with Lumio for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Zeract is going to stop suppressing the personality influence of Vishgerv
Okay.
in hopes that it helps mellow whatever the fuck is coming from this other one.
Okay. So yeah, the personality influence of the other one is like kind of bloodthirsty, kind of, like let's get him, and maybe after we get him, we could like eat him or something. It's up to you. And Vishgerv is very like mellow.
Yeah.
Like let's sit down and think about this. And you watch the runes continue to trace their way down. And at this point, they're sort of like, they're going over her upper chest. They're going down to her stomach. And then as they sort of ring right around where her like belly button would be, you see the runes kind of close into another circle. And you feel nothing was drawn from you this time, but you feel something else start to appear into being within you.
The fuck? Okay. She's gonna try and do the same thing and try and focus it into the usual paths and figure out what the fuck it is.
Okay, good luck. This one's hard.
Yeah, I believe it.
You make a poor pact.
Uh-huh. And I'm gonna get a check as well.
And you can do the knowledge planes check.
Ooh, you know what I haven't done today? I haven't re-rolled a knowledge check.
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll a knowledge check.
I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll a knowledge check with that plus 10 bonus. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Well, you have identified this spirit that you have made a poor pact with. This is the spirit of the Crystal Lady, the truth of the earth. She is essentially a diviner, who allows you to divine things moments before they happen or moments after they happen. So you can essentially what she lets you do is like get re-rolls on D20s. She's hero points.
Fucking hot. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
In terms of physical signs, if you wear any shiny objects on you, they shine completely through your clothes as if you were in full daylight. And when you activate any of her abilities, your innards glow through your skin like magma. Also, you cannot comprehend emotion and are baffled by it. You are monotone.
Oh boy.
And the runes continue to crawl down your body.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And they are now going like below the belt. They are crawling over your legs. Like Zeract is basically standing there in her breach cloud, just watching these things continue to crawl. And it's down her thighs, over her calves. And then there's that kind of like snapping into place feeling when they hit your toes.
All right, let's do this again.
Okay, roll it. You make a poor pact. However, you are able to identify this as the sign of Prime Ravager, the leader of the storm. Prime Ravager is sort of like, think of him as kind of the spirit of terrible storms come to life. And because of his sort of innate desire to be the only terrible thing, he has the ability to turn off the supernatural abilities of other things near him, which as you make the pact, you realize that you have that. That is probably what that Dolgaunt used on you to turn off your breath.
That makes sense.
And you're looking down at your your body, and you're seeing all of these little salt crystals that start to resemble the seals of a lot of different packs grow on your body. It's sort of like little circular symbols that sort of outline all of the different seals that you know and that you've made. And whenever you activate one of his abilities, white smoke will painfully erupt from your eyes. Additionally, personality influence. I don't know how you're going to play all 4 of these. You cuss and rage at anyone who questions your genius, appearance, or social etiquette, and you must eat food of the highest quality.
Oh, I know how they'll play this.
So, you are a monotone, mellow, bloodthirsty, pompous
Jesus.
person.
Yeah, correct.
I feel like I inadvertently turned you into me. Enjoy it. It's pretty good.
One thing that I do want to note.
Yeah.
I can see packed spirit auras constantly. I can't turn that off.
Yeah.
The second part of this is that I can't see very far because the crystal lady gives me the clouded sight oracle curse, which means I can only see 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will now give you some time to figure out how this works, but you are currently bound to Vishkurv, and I'll just tell you, it's like Zarakt doesn't know, but you can know. You are currently bound to Vishkurv, Shalasik, the Crystal Lady, and Prime Ravager. It is, and they are like you feel very sort of like bound to this place as well. So while you figure out how to deal with all that, because I know that is a lot to read, I'm going to go talk to everybody else. Delian.
Yeah.
Sir, you decided that you were like, all right, well, everybody's going to go over here. I'm going to go over here, hang out. As you were leaving, it looks like pretty much everybody but Sharut walked over into this room. So
Yeah, seems to be.
most people were just sort of looking around. Zarak dipped in real quick to check out a body and then went outside and then yelled for Dandarin, and then Dandarin's now in front of you, so it doesn't seem like she's in that much trouble. She's probably fine.
All right. Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, most likely fine. So, what would you like to do?
What I'm going to do is get ahead of what Dandarin always does. I'm going to go check this door.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he's going to be like, a door?
A door?
Delian.
Never heard of one of those. Yeah, the door does look locked. It's frozen over, but you know at this point that you can kind of like... You at this point, I imagine that you have the tools, you have the little brushes, you can kind of like put it into the lock and sort of run it back and forth and tinker around with it.
And after a few of those, I assume it was like, oh, okay, this is how it's going to be from here on out. You get better and better as you go.
Yeah. You also, I believe, were the one that got the book on like proper door maintenance.
I believe so.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a disable device check with a +2.
All right.
Because you know
That's what I like to hear.
You know the secret of Dakani doors now.
Which is pretty wild, and that's still...
That's a real bad roll, though.
That's a real bad... With all those buffs, that's still really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a 6 is still a 6. You're picking at it for a while, and you're just, like... It's just not unlocking.
Yeah.
It might be that the mechanism itself is frozen, and who knows?
Who knows? Delian cares not. This place sucks, and he just wants to get out. So he can just say to Dandarin that's a locked door, and then he'll probably just casually explore this huge chamber out here.
Okay.
Not really trying to look too into things.
Dandarin go take a crack at it. Hold on. It's disable device. Roll it. And he goes, well, I can always take a look if you want, Delian. And he'll,
Impossible.
He goes up, and he does what you do with how can I put it, less finesse and more power. So where you were just kind of like, all right, I'll brush the ice out of there with like a steel wire brush. He just kind of goes up and like knocks on it a couple times with one of his mini hammers, and some of the ice falls away, and then he starts picking the lock. But he's able to get it open, and he goes, All right, I heard the click. You want to go in, or is it me?
Well, after the herring adventures that we just went through, feel free to go ahead of me.
We should wait until the entire party is aware of our intentions.
Oh,
Oh,
yes. Where's Sharut?
I'm
We
not sure.
turn to see the empty room and Tharsia.
I'm sorry, who?
Tertia.
No, there's a TH in there.
No.
No,
That's how you write it.
no.
No.
Tertia.
Percy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that I clicked on Mike, so it said the Tertia. Said Tertia.
Tharsia.
I mean, that's Tercy is a Pokemon. You get it.
Now
Yeah,
Sharut's gonna
that's
say
how
Tertia.
nobles speak. Oh, fancy.
Pronounced
No,
Tertia.
Pokemon.
Nobles or Pokemon can only say their own names. Tertia. Okay, but what do you want for breakfast? Werbos. Yeah, but with coffee or no? Tertia. Very, very,
Anyway.
very, very.
Well, everybody's here now. Minus, nope, everybody's here.
Have you had a chance to check the cupboard over there or the desk?
No.
We should search those before moving on. I'm going to check this bedside table.
Sure, we'll get the desk.
Yeah. So, the desk, like the other one, mostly knickknacks. If there was much in here of value, it was probably taken. The one thing that you probably do note is basically a felt bag that feels like it has a couple of cylindrical objects in it, and when you pull it out, it's 2 sticks of chalk.
Toss it in the bag.
Okay. Andy, much the same with this table as with the other one. Again, a couple of like little things that you would keep on your bedside table, including like there's the kind of like personal toiletries. There's some coins. You also find a small cold iron dagger.
Oh. Yeah, I'll pick that up and probably hand it to Dandrin, stating this might be best used in some other way, but it appears to be cold iron.
And he goes, "Oh, yeah, it's good cold iron. I mean, it's as good as cold iron can be, which isn't much. I prefer steel, but still, when necessary, cold iron's useful."
It has
And,
benefits in other ways, I understand.
Yeah, I've heard
But,
something about demons or fairies or something. But as long as it's in dagger shape, I say we probably give it to the dagger master over here. And Dillian Dandrin holds out a cold iron dagger to you.
Okay. Another one. And I put it next to this ever-growing belt of small, sharp objects.
Well, now you have your magical kukri, you have your cold iron dagger, you have your Beishk dagger. Like, it's good.
I mean, like, I'm looking more and more like an assassin, and that's not what he is, but I feel a subtle nudge.
The dagger master who summons darkness.
We understand that you're not an assassin, but would you like to be?
I'm just a simple cabbage salesman. I was in a vampire game once, and they were like, "What are you playing?" And I was like, "He's a mid-level marketing exec for a chemical engineering corporation."
Hell yeah.
And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, he hasn't been turned into a vampire yet. He's just a guy."
Dude, that's really good.
And then I was turned into a vampire, and I basically went from, I was told, describe your character, and I said, he's like Russell Crowe, but current Russell Crowe. So he's just fat Russell Crowe. And then I got turned. My master was a Nosferatu, so like my ears fell off, and like I got all bumpy and ugly and stuff, and I was like, all right, like I mean, it could have happened to one of the prettier people, so I guess this is fair. And Dillian, you were going to search.
Not that much of a change.
Yeah, not that much of a change to go from Russell Crowe to earless Nosferatu.
2021 Russell Crowe.
2020. Dillian, you were going to search the wardrobe real quick.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right,
So we can get it all cleared.
it's mostly just clothing. It's iced over clothing. Do you have a praise or spellcraft?
I do.
Would you like to roll?
I think I have spellcraft too. I do. Sure. I'll go with spellcraft.
It's clothing.
Those are clothes.
Also, your dice
All right.
fucking hate you tonight.
Bro, this is going to be a good night. I can
Yeah.
just feel it.
Yeah, it's all clothes.
All right, well, this is just clothes.
Yeah. So, at this point, Denderin will go, should we get Zerakt?
Nah.
Where is she? I mean, probably.
Come on now. She's been nicer the last couple days.
That hesitation.
Where's Erect go?
Don't know.
And he looks at you and goes, look, your abilities allow you to do magical things. But you ever notice that sometimes when Zerakt has the vine hair, she's really nice? When she has the gold eyes, she wants money.
All I notice is that every single time I'm around her, it's always like on me. So I don't know. Maybe you see something I don't.
Whom are these metaphors?
Maybe it's because I'm taller. It's harder to spit on my head.
I don't
Oh,
understand
could be.
this.
Your shield blocks it.
You see, when shifters live out in the wilds for a very long time, they start to commune with the spirits. Come on. They start to commune with the spirits. Are you going to wait here?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go. We will return to Dillian.
Oh yeah, sure.
Don't open that door.
No, trust me, I won't.
Don't go seeking adventure without us.
So,
Absolutely will not.
Don't chase waterfalls.
Was that sarcasm? I tried again.
as everybody
Bye.
else moves
As they're
over,
approaching,
as everybody else moves over there, Dillian, do you go in the door? Do you? Do you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well then. Sorry, Justin, you were saying?
yeah, she can hear them bantering as they come up.
At the very least, everybody who has ears can hear Dandarin.
And as they get close, she'll yell out, "Wait!"
And Dandarin's hand is like on the doorknob, and he goes, "For how long?"
Give me a second.
Sharut will put his hand on Dandarin's shoulder and say,
Best wait.
kind of like, just chill.
So, Zerakt is going to take a knife, and she's going to cut a hole in the back of her doublet, and
Okay.
a hole in the leather armor that she wears, to fit the fin.
Okay.
The backpack's harder, but she'll just kind of sling it off of one shoulder for now. Uncomfortable, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you have a big shark fin. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, so she's going to pull her hood up over, not like it's going to help with the teeth, and then she'll go and open the door. Thanks.
No problem. Yeah, and you see basically everybody standing there but Dillian. And Dandarin go, "You alright?"
No. But working on it.
Yeah, and to everybody else, you, again, all that's visible of Zerakt, like normal, is her face. But even on her face, you can see this silver tracery, like these fine lines that are kind of like faintly glowing blue that just weren't there before.
Kind of not able to really help it as her eyes sweep over the group, like her lip curls up the moment that Lumio comes into sight. And she's just got a ton of teeth. Like a lot more packed back there. Like maybe multiple rows back behind each other.
Lumio isn't in a habit of counting the teeth of his companions, so he does not notice.
And Direct already had sharp teeth to begin with, so there's
Yeah.
Well, and Lumio has no teeth, so if anybody has at least one, they have too many things in their mouth.
What do those organics even use those for?
Well, I've seen what Stalwart does with them, and I kind of figured it out. It didn't take a lot of thinking.
He just uses them to chew. Why would I need to chew? I don't understand. Yeah.
Oh, let's continue on then.
We found an off room in the other chamber that seems to be of interest. Dandarin and Delian have opened it up and are ready for us to proceed through.
Rex just kind of like tilts her head to the side in that like, oh, there's an annoying sound I'm hearing. It just says, right, go ahead then.
All right. And as everybody's walking back, 1 second.
So this is the nice Zeract. Got it.
Well, Zeract is mellow but hateful.
Yeah, she's gonna be a monotone asshole.
Delian.
Yes.
Well, sir.
Okay.
There's this there's this voice, and it's less a voice and more a feeling, but it's essentially communicating in single words.
Okay.
And you get this thing that says safety in your head.
Sort of like a subliminal messaging sort of way, or just
You
hey,
have a thought in your
safety.
head that you know is not yours.
Okay. Well, this hasn't bitten Delian before. Hello?
And you hear, greetings, safety,
You just saying safety doesn't really make it feel all that safe.
protection, joining.
Now that sounds more reasonable. So, protection, joining, where are you? I'm not going crazy, am I?
And you feel this kind of pulse of direction,
okay.
and it says portal.
Oh, like I'll just start heading towards this.
I mean, like over here?
And it says fleeing.
Oh, I guess I'll take that as... Are you behind this door that I said I wouldn't open?
Approach.
Great. Just great. Alright. If you're a trap or anything else, I swear if I live through this, I'm never opening another door again. Swearing off the life of whatever I'm doing.
And then he opens the door.
Okay.
Make a reflex save.
And what you see right here is this small creature. And you can tell that it's a creature because it's looking at you. What it looks like is almost it looks like a length of rope, or perhaps a snake, but you don't see the things that you would normally see on a snake, like scales. You don't see a mouth. All it is this long tube, about 2.5 feet long. It looks like this. It looks white with sort of icy blue veins running up and down it, and it has a single white eye that's just staring at you.
Well, you, if this is who I think is the voice in my head, are terrifying.
And it says, safety, joining.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know about that. Like, joining how?
And it says, together, protection.
Oh, you want me to protect you?
And you see the little like eye blink a couple times, and then it looks at you and goes, joining. And it starts kind of like moving forward very slowly towards you.
I mean, consent is a thing. What do I get out of this?
Protection.
Oh, I also get protection. What can you do that I can't?
And it like looks around it and looks behind it, and sort of like, for something that looks kind of like it's not necessarily sleek, especially as it moves, because the way it moves, like a snake slithers, right? A snake maintains its length as it goes. This thing moves like a slug. So it goes from being about 2.5 feet long to about a foot long to about 2.5 feet long. It's just this like...
Oh, okay.
And it looks around, and you see it just kind of like twisting in on itself, and then it looks past, like not at something I believe that you can see.
I cannot.
It looks at something over here, and then you see all of the veins on its body just start to show through the skin a little bit more until it's almost more blue than it is white.
Mm-hmm.
And this frigid azure glow begins to form around the eye, and then it blasts from the eye over here.
I would like to take a quick peek around, like, in the way of it, like, just, like, looking around the corner, just to see what it did.
And when you look over, what it's done, there's like an armoire here.
Yeah.
Some sort of, china cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And it has essentially launched a ray at it that has not necessarily blown a hole at it, but you can tell that like some of the ice on this is more recent.
Okay.
Where it has just gone and like frozen a line across it. Just.
Okay. Well then, welcome aboard. What do you want me to take a hold of my hand? What do you need? I got plenty of pockets in my jacket.
And as you say, like, take a hold of my hand, it does that thing where it sort of scrunches up and then it elongates. And as it elongates, it's kind of balancing on its very back of its tail. And it reaches out to your hand and then starts winding its way around your arm up the sleeve.
Okay.
And then...
Does it leave, like, any coating or anything?
No. Like, if anything, it's very, very cold. But it's winding around the arm where you have your frostbite.
Yeah.
And it's just this, like, I don't know, like, imagine wearing, you know, those like, the bracelets that women wear sometimes where it just, like, you know, like, looks like a coiled snake or something. It's that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's that, but it's sort of starting at your forearm and it's going up to your shoulder.
Oh, nice.
And
as it's doing that, I'll just do this, close the door, and just scooch over here.
And you feel the back of the tail as it's like climbing up your shoulder, and it basically kind of like moves itself along up your back, and to sort of where the neck kind of meets the rest of the spine.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, you feel a little bit like you can feel it attach. There's just this. And you are well experienced with that feeling of cold, having been down here and with your frostbite scar. So you just feel it kind of latch on. And it starts to kind of softly pulse on your arm. And it sends you this very contented, like, it's only a word, but the word feels like happy and snuggling. And it goes, safety.
Sure. That was kind of gross, but cool. Welcome to me.
You take 1 point of intelligence damage as it attaches.
Okay.
And that's about when everybody else would like walk into the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll move Dandrin.
Into the wall. Woo-hoo.
He looks to be in chat right now.
What do you mean you'll move Dandrin?
Oh, I didn't know that you were back.
He knows
I was just trying not to spoil the scene.
So, yeah, you guys get back to the room. Delian's just still standing there, leaning against the wall like he was before.
Good. Now, I appear to have touched some black ice again. What happened? Have we examined this already?
Yeah,
I assume we have.
Zorak looked at that.
Yep, that's a corpse.
Zorak looked at that. Zorak went and looked at the body of the Dolgaunt that kept shooting you guys with ice. And then Zorak sort of disappeared into the kitchen for a couple of minutes while everybody ransacked this room. And then everybody went and got Zorak and came back in here. And that's been everything that's happened so far.
Right. And we, as a group, have not checked this room, right?
No, you guys have not checked this room. Nobody really checked the kitchen. Zorak went in there, stripped, found out that she's turning into some sort of thing, and then put her clothes back on and left.
She. Well, since we're already here, I'm going to check this room here. Charut?
And
Glenn?
you've already picked this
Would you
lock,
care to join me?
actually.
Wonderful.
So, what you're able to see as you move in is that this room looks like it looks like a dining room. Like, it looks like a banquet hall. What you're seeing along here look to be sort of china cabinets that are holding, but also just the entry or the resting place of a bunch of shattered porcelain. There's stuff all over the floor right here. Some of them might be intact, but for the most part, it looks like something was able to open this up and just kind of rummage around and slam through it. There's broken dining room tables and chairs, and then more of these as you're going. It looks like a very large hall that is pretty much just broken.
Well, I'll take as we walk through, I will inspect the room just to see if I notice anything out of the ordinary.
Sure, go ahead and give me a perception check. Man,
Also,
I don't
see
see
that just very slow.
What terrible craftsmanship. Oh, this is all a bother.
yeah, pretty much. Like, somebody came through here and broke all the things. Now all the things are broke. While they're doing that, does anyone want to do anything else?
I'm sorry, I missed the description of what these objects on the wall here.
Stop there, Danon. They're china cabinets.
Oh, okay.
That are holding, for the most part, very shattered porcelain. It looks like these once held plates, but something has come in here and wrecked them. So there's a lot of shattered pieces of porcelain pretty much just strewn about this room, but especially in front of these things.
I'll look them over as I walk past.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
There.
Rect is also going to do the perception check. It just takes her longer because she can't see the whole room in one go. So she gets to this, she gets to here, and is probably at the point where she can make a perception check.
Awesome.
Yep.
So Zarakt, you're able to find, like, as you're looking around, there's a couple of pieces in here that aren't broken, but otherwise you're not finding much of value. It looks like pretty much everything in here has just been shattered. Lumio, you're finding similar stuff in these. Not often. It's like maybe one per cabinet, and it's like just covered by shattered pieces of other stuff. But you're actually able to find a couple that are intact.
Yeah. So Rex will pull those out and set them aside for a Charut. Just kind of like clear a space over on this carpet on the far side, and then set them down over there because they're clean.
Yeah, if you guys spend some time actually like pawing through stuff, you will be able to come up with basically one like 4-person dining set from Old Dakan.
Mm-hmm.
Which, granted, their 4-person dining sets are much simpler than most 4-person dining sets. It is, this is a plate, and this is a bowl, and this is a cup. But they're well crafted, and they're basically painted alongside the side, like hand painted with pottery, with like little depictions of wars or heroes or those sorts of things.
I like the idea that their utensils are so utility focused that they're actually a fork, a spoon, and a knife all at the same time.
Yeah,
it's the whole thing.
You can't even eat without cutting your mouth.
Right. It's fine. But yeah, Zarakt will do that because why not? It's a Charut heritage thing.
Okay, sounds good. Tertia, Delian, or Charut, are the 3 of you doing anything in the room?
No.
Nothing's really standing out to Charut, so
Yeah.
No, not really.
I don't think he's gonna do anything in this room.
Okay.
I think he's just gonna, because it's plates. He's not here for plates.
Sure. With that said, Zarakt has made you a nice little stash of plates right there.
Charut looks at his like,
How carry without break?
Charut stops and looks over, and she gives what looks like is attempting to be a smile, but is just way too threatening. It has way too many teeth. And she says, ultimately, that's not my problem. You're the one with an interest in the Dakani history. This is history. You can take it.
I guess fair. Strange spirits you seem to have packed.
And he pulls out a sack from his inventory, and he does the what is it? He folds it up and like ties it into a knot, tries to make it as cushioned as possible,
Yeah, it's fair.
and gently puts it into his pack and kind of shuffles it so that it's like in between his bedroll and maybe
Sure.
some of his clothes.
I mean, you could also just go like, I'll get those on the way out, or take the pack and like put it down here. You know, like any of those are okay, but sure, you can carry it with you. Sure, it never gets hit. You'll be fine.
We'll just hear a crack. It's all good. It's all good.
The monster that I just made up targets Sharut with shatter.
All your bonds and the porcelain.
Oh,
Aw.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's pretty much what you guys find in here. It looks like a ruined dining hall. There's some wrecked stuff. And Dandarin, you're here in front of what looks like a stone door that has just been battered down, like just literally shattered. It looks like it was shattered in on the side that you're in, if that matters.
Something broke out of this room at some point. With my knowledge of stone working and stuff, can I kind of gauge, like, is it just like it was ruined at the same time everything was, or was it a more recent situation?
Yeah, you can give me a perception check.
Masonry?
Yeah, give me a masonry check if you got masonry.
I do have masonry.
Jesus. It was a cold Tuesday. No, this was broken in whatever either whatever siege took the castle or in the time thereafter. This is not a recent break, not at all.
Okay. Oh, something escaped from here many years ago. Oh, joy! More statues.
Yes, and you do see more statues, as well as from where you are. I believe you can see that there's a statue right here that looks like it has been.
Yeah, I can just barely see that, and then the little column here. And then I can also see this statue, what appears to be the throne, and a frozen corpse.
Corpse?
Yes, but hold on. From what we've encountered previously, looking at these statues, do any of them appear to be potentially living?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Looks clear.
Well, it seems fine, he says, pulling out his hammer and shield for no reason. But just to be safe, I will also look up in case there's are there rafters in here? That's a pretty common thing that's happened.
So this room does go up a little higher. This floor kind of goes up a little higher than the other floors, and it's sort of to allow that whoever's sitting on the throne, which is raised, doesn't have the top of their head like touching the ceiling. So there are rafters that are above you, but you also know that there are other floors above you because you have been to them. Yeah, but no, that's fine. You're looking up as you're coming in.
So it looks clear for now, but let's be on our guard still, but at least tentative.
I would stay behind you. Yes.
Yes.
Sharut sees this throne and this corpse, and kind of forgets what he just said to Dander.
So what you all see is a stone that looks to be, you see a, let me start that one over. What you all see is a throne, not a stone. You see a throne that looks to be carved from either black ice or black stone that's sort of got patterns in it, similar to how you would have patterns in marble, but the patterns in this, instead of being of marble, look to be of different colors of ice. Some of them are blue, some of them are white, some are clear. This For those who were at the restaurant, the Frozen Throne, you know that was mostly a palanquin. This is actually the Frozen Throne. There are steps going up to it from all the cardinal directions. It is about 10 feet off the ground or so. And it looks like a incredibly uncomfortable place to sit because you don't see any padding. You don't even see like frozen over padding that's like somewhere on the ground over here or anything like that. It is a big stone seat.
Sharif is in awe.
Is there any packed bullshit that Zarak sees?
As you're moving around, it's not on the throne, but you are seeing things that are like over here. So basically, on the statues as you're coming in, the statues that are like at the corners of this area, yes, it's not something you've necessarily seen before, but yes.
Zarak is trying to decide if she's going to get close enough to look. Sure.
Tercio won't. She'll just go up there.
Well, I mean, you belong on thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big stone throne. It's made of some sort of like black ice, black rock, hard to tell. And yeah, the steps are a little slippery. You guys have the time if you need it, and it's not like that far of a fall, really. It's not like, a 15-foot staircase. So if you need to, you can like very slowly manage to make your way up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Knowing you, Tertia just sort of like leaps 10 feet into the air and is just on top now.
Garut, he's gonna like look at the throne as he walks by, but also examine this corpse.
Sure. Give me a heal check, please.
Button. Who's got the button?
So you see a couple different things about this corpse. Number one, this is the corpse of a hobgoblin. It is a hobgoblin female. And it looks like whatever happened to her, happened at the hands of somebody who was either very, very good with a spear or had a lot of spears or a lot of people using them. She has these lines that you've seen before. You actually just saw them about an hour ago. And realistically, if you looked at Zarak in the last 30 seconds, you saw him 30 seconds ago. But hers are black, and they're kind of like, you see them up and down her arms and on her face. Yeah, she's got just a lot of stab wounds that Sharut is able to sort of identify as being like from like spear blades, due to, general shape and depth, that sort of thing. With some more time examining her body, you might be able to figure out a little bit more, but that's about all you can get from that. You do notice that she does have one odd thing on her, which is that there is a heavy flail that is currently wrapped around her right leg. Like, the flail is wrapped around her leg, and the handle of the flail is like dangling off the side of the steps.
By numerous spear wounds. Does her visage match any historical depiction?
Give me a knowledge history check.
Let me finish writing this. Sorry. Out of the way. Oh my gosh.
None that you know of.
Okay. He'll take them then, and
You'll what? I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry, he'll take the mace off her leg, and he'll pass it over to Dandarin. He won't say anything because he'll just hand him the mace and then immediately start examining the throne.
Sure.
Oh, wait, I'll examine this for you. Appraise?
Yeah. So Dendron, this appears to be a +1 Aberration Bane heavy flail.
Ooh.
The ball itself of the flail is very much steel, but it looks like the various nodules and spikes coming from it have that purple sheen of beige to them.
Oh, this is quite handy. Chirrut, this is this flail here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your throne examination. But this is the perfect tool for fighting aberrations. It is a bane weapon against them. And you can see here the nodules and spikes. Those are made of besh, although they've saved cost by attaching it to a steel ball. It's a good find. Good find. Zarak, do you use a mace-type weapon? How are you with flails? Ah, you've stepped away from existence for a moment. All right. I will...
No, I don't want it.
I will hand it to Zarak for now.
Okay. Sounds good. And Chirrut, you said you're going to go back to examining the throne?
Yeah, like he probably doesn't even hear Dandrin.
Okay. While you're examining the throne, Lumio, are you doing anything? You have a sort of half-broken statue near you and a bunch of other ones that you can see.
I am very wary of this situation as it is the throne room. Like, the most important... There's got to be something here that he has to be wary of. So he's cautiously nudging forward, and in fact, he's preparing to cast some wild magic here, whereas he's going to drop the... when he gets into an area that he thinks is close enough to everyone, he's going to drop the war totem, specifically one that he doesn't normally control, that is the one that shares our... or gives us a better reflex throw.
Okay.
So, when he's about there, he'll do that, and I will look up the stuff to send it to you, and then roll on the hundreds.
I will give you a totem. That's a big fireball there, Lumio. I don't know why you would hit the whole team with that fireball, but I understand.
Oh, don't you? Don't you? You've been leading us up to this for weeks!
You're right.
The ultimate betrayal! This is for having teeth!
Yeah.
The
quickening totem is the one that I was trying to say.
The quickening totem? Okay. And it just gives everybody like a +1 to reflex saves?
+2 dodge bonus to AC versus attacks of opportunity.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah. Seemed like the right one here, especially if things are hiding, or stuff like that. So,
Sounds
I need to roll a 1d100. Boom. And I think that almost does 2.
Almost does 2, but not quite. So you just get the 1 wild magic thing. Go ahead and roll that. Hey, this doesn't cost you any spell points. I think you were just doing it concentration-wise, but hey.
I get a free temporary spell point to the end of the 6 seconds. But yeah, I'm gonna concentrate on that with my and from this point just kind of look around.
Okay, sounds good. Tertia, as Chirrut is kind of examining the body and now starting to examine the throne, what is Tertia doing?
The first thing Tercia does is leans down to Chirrut and says, "Do you want to examine from on the throne or from down here? If from down here, do you mind if I sit on it?"
No, sit.
Just to clarify, are you saying, no, you don't want to sit on it, or no, I should not sit on it?
Do not sit on throne.
Percy is dejected, but understands.
This commoner is trying to steal all of your fun.
It's true.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, I'll respect the wishes. It's not my culture, but
Sure.
I guess I'll just hang out with Delian.
Sounds good. That said, Delian.
They won't let me sit on the throne.
Oh. Well, yeah, he's been kind of really into this sort of thing. The whole reason we're basically down here. So, let him have what he wants. The sooner he gets through his thing, the sooner we can get out of here. The sooner I can get warm.
Yeah, the sooner we can all get warm.
I mean, it's cool and all, and I mean that in a literal sense as well. But I didn't expect to spend. Complaining about it doesn't get me anything. Well,
It makes
it's
your
all right.
mouth warm.
Yeah, keeps my mind warm. I'm gonna just. Where's my coffee? Oh,
I mean, when I was living in
excellent.
that room, basically alone, that's all I ever did. I complained just to keep my mouth warm.
I know that just makes
But
me
it didn't-
dour and.
Help any because there's no one else there to complain to. I'm making myself depressed. We should stop this line of conversation.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when you get out?
Get on a horse and ride and be warm, and then we're gonna hopefully have enough money to fund my little business thing.
Ominous, vague. I like it.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah, sure. Like I'm not gonna try to pry into your life if you don't want me to.
What? I was being forthright. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Oh well. I look forward to seeing whatever business thing this thing is.
Oh, it's actually very interesting. The dance school.
And then I figured we could just carry on about this dance school for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Sure. All right. So, Dandern, are you doing anything while Sharut's looking at the throne?
This way, just make sure it's more of the same.
Yeah, for the most part. Like it looks like this is a room where a lot of the statues have been sort of shattered, and otherwise it's just a big kind of throne room. You see a set of stairs behind you going up. You also, I believe you came down along it far enough to see sets of stairs down here as well. And if you haven't, Delian, with the torches as you were walking around, you can see them. There's one here and one here. So Dandern's basically going on combat patrol. Sharut, you wanted to examine the throne. What would you like to do?
I did. Well, let's give it a once over. You said there were symbols on it?
So it's not so much symbols. It's like you know what marble looks like, right?
Yeah.
And you know how marble has like it's white stone, but it has like black and gray swirls in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is black stone with blue and white swirls in it, or black ice with blue and white swirls in it. That's what it looks like. It's not like writing. It's just this is the way it was made.
Okay. I think this is probably iconic enough, like for a history roll.
Mm-hmm.
Would Sharut get a plus to this history roll?
Yeah.
What would said plus be?
I would say probably a +4. This is probably something that you have not just heard about, but like read about a lot. Yes. This is the Frozen Throne. This is the place that Predna's Kaldurgs ruled from. You know that it is how can I put it? It's sort of this was the seat of his empire in more ways than one. He was a warlord who was often on the field, but he wasn't always on the field because he could, if he chose to, affect certain fields from here. The sort of rumors and the stories is that, you know, wherever his men were, he could make winter descend upon them. And it's like in your sort of histories, it's kind of points to the throne being the reason for that.
Sharut's gonna kind of run his hand just along the seat.
Dope. Can you give me a will save?
Maybe. Let's find out.
Okay. Well, it is supernaturally cold. And you take 6 points of cold damage. And as you kind of run your arm, or run your hand along the ice that makes up the arm of the throne, you sort of feel something kind of like tugging at your own memories, and you manage to fight that off.
He will take his hand away.
Romeo, direct.
Yes?
Require your assistance.
We'll be there once I am done with this.
And Zarek, you were checking out the statues There's definitely some kind of binding magic at work here. You can give me a knowledge arcana or knowledge planes to figure out what it is.
It's the same, so I'm going to use the knowledge planes check.
Okay. Knowledge planes is actually probably sort of the better choice here. What these do is these statues are essentially conduits that improve spell-like or supernatural abilities linked to the plane of Rhesia within this area.
That makes a ton of sense.
And because of how, bindings work, where like certain things are attributed to certain moons and that sort of stuff, you could see how this would work. Essentially, all things that are cold-based or stasis-based, that sort of stuff, it has its caster level increased by 1 while it's in this area.
Gotcha. Cool.
So, as Lumio heads to the stairs, he does a kind of an involuntary bow to the throne as he approaches the steps and then moves up.
Yeah. And it's an odd thing because these are just as sort of iced over and dangerous looking as a lot of the other steps that you've approached. But it seems like they're sort of meant to be walked up, and so they don't affect your footing quite as much. And
so the other stairs weren't supposed to be walked up. I get it.
Yeah. Essentially, these stairs have like a ridging or a rigid. I think they're ruffles chips. And you see the ruffles, they have ridges, which allows them to hold extra sour cream, but also provides traction.
They've got like diamond plate over the top of them so that they have something to crunch into.
Yeah. But yeah, the two of you are easily able to get up there.
You called for us, Sharut.
Leave magic at work here. Sharut not know,
he says as he flicks open a potion and chugs a cure light wounds.
The statues along the perimeter enhance certain magics here.
That makes quite a lot of sense.
Yes, that's why I said it.
So, what would you all like to do?
Is there any... Go ahead.
If we want, since there doesn't seem to be anything besides the throne right there, in this room in particular anyway, there's a few stairways up. We could always try those out. I'm pretty sure this one leads up to that upper floor that we saw when we encountered those statues.
and shall form more rooms to the west as well.
Perhaps.
Sharut's gonna pull out his journal that he's been writing in, and he's just gonna start scribbling things down.
Sure. Yeah, it takes you a couple minutes, but you can make all the drawings or notes that you want.
Yep.
So once you have your notes and the group is ready to go, you guys got some options here. You got 3 staircases. You got other doors. What would you like to do?
Where do we want to go?
Let's clear this floor first. That's my vote. Then we check the stairs.
Shrewd, would the warlord have kept his artifacts in the throne, or more likely in some vault nearby? As I've seen before, it seems more likely that they would be here, or at least very close to here.
You would know that, right?
So from what you've heard of Kaldurg's, his artifacts, like his items of legend or like the things people talked about, weren't here's a lot of treasures. They were magical prosthetic body parts. So, and from the stories that you've been seeing, whoever's got cops behind them, mute yourself. From the stories that you've been able to find out, he's got he was essentially shipping those off to try to keep a hold on the Empire. But that, like, if there's anything here that he might have, it would probably be the Frozen Spear. Like, his empire was like named after it. his domain was the domain of the frozen spear. So if that's still here, that's probably worthwhile. But a hobgoblin warlord tends to spend most of his treasures on like arming his army and conquering, and like sharing the wealth among his people. Keeping vaults of treasures are a very Galifarian sort of thing. Humans do that. A hobgoblin's not so much.
So, would I know if the spear would be maybe kept at his final resting place here, or would it be kept near the throne, or perhaps within a statue of himself, like we've seen with other items here?
You have no idea.
Okay.
Route unclear as to where relic may be. Only one may still be in city is frozen spear. Other parts shipped out to corners of empire.
I see. Well then, let's attempt to find a spear. Or did you mention that it was a spear? Yeah.
Yeah, he said frozen spear.
Well, in that case, just looking. I won't mind statues. Although did no one upstairs have a spear? Well, we'll see.
The statue of Kaldurg's upstairs did have a spear. Yes.
Oh
Worried
dear.
about that. Yeah.
Well, to the west for now, I say, and I'll check the upper floors.
2 quick questions before we go.
Sure.
The runes, the symbols on this this hobgoblin next to me, are they the same ones that I have?
Yeah. They're like the placing is maybe a little different, but the exact same ones.
Okay. Does the throne emanate any kind of pact bullshit?
No. Not necessarily. It has a lot of Resian magic, but it doesn't necessarily have a lot of like pact magic.
Okay. That's something to explore later. Not a big deal. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I had.
Okay. Sounds good. So the group's moving, it looks like southward, back into the big foyer room, I guess.
Yeah, and then west. That's what it sounded like.
And then west. All right. So to the west, we have 2 doors that are shut. We have 1 door that was open to the kitchen.
Correct.
Did we actually examine the kitchen?
I was preoccupied at the time.
I might as well poke my head in real quick then.
Be careful of the ovens.
Yes. I'll take a look inside.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Kira's gonna join him.
Yeah, and you can give me a perception check as well.
Let's see. There it is.
So Dandarin, you're looking around, and it looks like there's some crates piled over here. There's some stuff in this way, but you're not really like it. It looks like a kitchen that hasn't seen use in a long time. Given that if the Dolgons want to eat something, they probably go out and catch something and then drain the blood out of it. It makes sense. Sharut, you scamper a little bit more than the guy wearing all the armor and carrying the big ass shield. And so as you're kind of like clambering over these to look, it looks like there's a passageway right here. Like you can't really see it unless you're kind of like already standing on some of these things or like climbing up to look at them a little bit. But there's actually a passageway right here that goes in between the wall and the wall, in between the outside wall and this wall right here. It would probably be easiest to actually get into it if you moved a bunch of that stuff out of the way. But you do see that there's a little passageway that is blocked.
Route find hidden.
Oh, you found something.
Yes. Come here. Help me move.
And he's gonna start dragging the boxes out of the way.
Okay.
We did find a secret passage over here, if anyone's interested. And then he'll come assist with the moving stuff.
All right. Yeah. So it doesn't take you long. You're able to quickly move this stuff out of the way, and then you can see this little passageway right here. It looks like a way. It's one of those sort of clue secret passageways that goes from the kitchen to whatever room it goes to. There's no real doors hiding it. It looks like there was just stuff hiding it. I don't know if you can
Sure, would you like to scout?
like move your character in there because of how narrow it is, but I can move them if necessary.
Sure, it will scout. He'll do the sneaky sneakies.
Sure. So the sneaky sneakies are probably interrupted when you get behind this little bend.
Okay. Because it's squeezing.
Well, number one, you're squeezing, but number two, right here on the ground is the corpse of a it's the corpse of a hobgoblin who looks very shriveled and iced over. And it's just like it's like laying down right here. It looks like something just drained the liquid out of this woman, and then she froze over.
So it looks like she was attacked by a Dalgon.
Yeah, you're able to put that together pretty easily.
He'll check the body, see if there's anything on it.
Sure, give me a perception check. The body doesn't have much. She is essentially wearing like a nightgown. But what you are able to find is that there's sort of a bloody handprint on the wall about right here that kind of trails down to where she is. And you're fairly certain that she was trying to open something because the blood, like where it comes down, and you know, like if imagine you had a paintbrush and you dragged it down a wall and the wall was made of brick, in all the spots with the mortar it would kind of like pool a little bit, right? Or it would completely skip over that little spot. It's going to be one of those two, depending on how much blood is in the or how much paint is in the brush. But there's a line in the middle of the brick where it looks like some of the blood pooled very awkwardly. There's just this horizontal line.
Chirrut is going to run his fingers over that line and push.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a disable device check. All right. You are able to kind of like push this lever in and to the side. It takes you a minute. Like this is made at a comfortable hobgoblin height, which means you're standing with like both arms kind of above your head.
On his very tippy toes.
Yeah. And you move it to the side, and it, you know, you push it in, it slides to the side, and it's kind of slow going because it's all like iced over. And then you feel something thwack against your hand, like real forcefully.
Like, something thwacks against my hand. What was it?
So like, basically you've opened this door that you can't see, and then something launches itself at your palm, and when you kind of close your hand around it and pull it out, it's a crossbow. It's a small crossbow.
Ooh.
And it's loaded with this bolt that looks like it's not so much an arrow. It almost looks hollow, and the front is not carved like it's supposed to. How can I put it? The front is not carved like it's supposed to pierce. It almost looks like a little fanged mouth, like a snake's mouth.
Okay. So is it designed to kind of shatter?
You have no idea. You've never seen this.
He wants to examine it, but he also wants to know what's on the other side of this wall. So he's going to...
So yeah, you didn't find like a full-on door. It's just a little alcove that looked like it was holding this thing.
Yeah, a stash.
Yeah.
It's a stash.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna
move further through.
Put that in his bag and then move further through. Yeah.
Sure. It looks like you are in a large room. You see some sort of like banners on the side. You see a large table in front of you. There's some columns. That's about all you can make out at the edge with your dark vision.
Okay. He's gonna move back.
Okay.
and say, or hang on. Oh, can't move that way. It won't let me move through the wall.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll just put you back.
It's okay.
It's a really tight squeeze, and the game, the program is like, no, your figure's too big.
Yeah, I figured.
Large room on other side. Also, managed to find this.
And with the better light now, he's actually going to examine the crossbow.
So yeah, when you go like, manage to find this, and you go to draw it, it slams into your hand. It's sort of in your hand before you have really finished pulling it.
Range.
Oh. Mind if I take a gander?
And he lets stand.
I will examine the crossbow.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for me. You need a 20 to get it, right?
I do.
Yeah, you have no idea.
It's very interesting. Fortunately, I'm not as familiar with ranged weaponry. Zarak, do you want to take a look at this?
It won't help now. I have the wrong spirits bound.
Ah. Well, for now, Shiroji, you've got yourself a mystery crossbow.
Numbers wise, it's a +1 crossbow. If you figure out the rest of it, I'll tell you the rest of it.
Okay. I will add a +1 crossbow to my inventory, but I will keep using the hand crossbows for now.
Yeah. Otherwise, the kitchen doesn't have much, and everything in here is it's just frozen, and it's probably been frozen for too long to actually still be good. It's just like, this isn't cryostasis. It's just like, you can only freeze your carrots for so long before they are just not carrots anymore. So yeah.
The next door is up then, I suppose.
You said it was a small crossbow, correct?
Yeah, it's a hand crossbow.
Cool. I'll use that then. Sweet.
I didn't mean to just open it. Check it.
Yeah, those doors open when you try to open them.
Ah.
Yeah, they're just opened. And then you got a door to your right that is opened into a room, and then there's a door in front of you that is closed. From the room, I believe Tertia tried to like peek in real quick. You saw that there's some banners on the wall. It looks like somebody has crushed or knocked down a couple of columns. And that's what you can see in there.
Hey, John Eric,
Examine this door.
I'm hearing a slight grinding noise on your mic.
Yeah, remember when I talked about like, I have the worst neighbors?
Oh, okay, they're being asses. Gotcha.
So over the last week and a half, they have moved from I'm gonna run my motorcycle, like just sit here and rev it for 2 hours, to but what about power tools from 9 to 4 a.m.
What the fuck?
Sounds like a call to the police.
I don't call the
that's
cops.
exactly what it sounds like.
So it's annoying, and yeah. I think one of the other neighbors called the cops on him for the motorcycle thing, because that's kind of what I overheard, was him going like, well, I can't like try to fix my bike, or I'll like have somebody, like if I run it for more than 30 seconds, the cops will be called again. And so I think this is their like stupid rebellion. Whatever. Like, it wasn't me. I don't call the cops on people. I tend to, if I want him to stop, if it's getting too much, I would go over there and be like, hey, please no. But, dude's got a right to power tool in his own garage, I guess. So yeah, sucks, but that's how it is. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, Dendron, this door is locked, but there's also nothing of value behind it, so you open it.
All right.
It is a...
nothing of value.
Yeah, it looks to be a supply closet. There's, I could not find racks of mops, but imagine racks of like mops and brooms and shit like that. There's mops and brooms.
Very well, then I will explore the room that has things.
Yeah.
Frozen mops?
Frozen mops.
A treasure trove.
They said it
To
couldn't
speed
be
up-
done.
To speed up the exploration of this room, as we've already had a description,
Yeah.
I explore the room and look for the things that are of value.
Sure thing. Sounds good.
Indeed.
These right here on the wall are, for the most part, bookshelves or knick-knack shelves that looks like somebody did their very best to light them on fire. So they're not necessarily smoldering heaps smoldering heaps because fire doesn't quite burn all that well here. But yeah, like most of the stuff on them is ruined. You're able to maybe grab a couple of statues if you want, but they're pretty weighty. They're little like 5 and 10 pound like carvings of things. As you're searching,
You want little statues.
as you're searching, the main gain in this room is probably going to be this map, which is similar to and pretty much like the other piece of the map that Lumio found earlier. So yeah, Lumio, you probably recognize this as kind of like connecting to your map. It is the sort of northern portion of it.
Okay.
So
Is it glued to the table?
no, it's the same kind of material. It's still that like very, very thin leather. So you can do the same, like, crack it real quick to get some of the ice off and then roll it up.
I do so.
Cool. And then as you all go north, there's pretty much just more shelves and a bed. It looks like you are probably in the personal chambers of Pred Kaldurks.
Sharut opens his book.
This is where the King
Starts
of
right.
Kings slept. Witness, he
Just
was not a
starts
man
right.
who needed multiple pillows. He was a one-pillow sort of man.
I will examine this see if he had any like secret
Yeah, sure thing.
hidey holes or anything.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me a roll. So you notice no hidey holes, but you also notice a secret door right here.
Because it was unusual work.
Very much so, yes. As you're searching through this, like looking through this, you're not noticing anything that's secret. The things that you're finding are very blatant. There's a bed. Underneath the bed are things like, boots, that sort of stuff. There's a small trunk that has some clothing in it. Over here is a nightstand. A warlord doesn't need to keep a little satchel with some coin on him. And the nightstand mostly has like a couple of toiletries and some ink, some quills, some writing sheaves, and a couple of small statuettes that look like they're carved from, looks like maybe black stone, maybe black ice. Hard to tell. The statuettes are of it looks kind of like a 4-armed woman.
Like the 4-armed woman upstairs.
Yeah,
You
but
said
smaller.
Trying to fill the void of time, because Dandern is suddenly muted.
I very briefly heard Erica start talking to him, so I imagine
Yeah.
he's...
Oh yeah, Erica totally walked in. She had some news to tell me. So sorry, I had to mute.
No, it's fine. I heard
She was very excited.
2 syllables, and then she went mute, so
She-
it was cool.
Yeah. So her name has been on the door at her work for a while, but
Yeah.
now it's on the front. It kind of like is the subtext.
Oh, nice.
And now it is equal size to the other doctor, proudly on the front window.
This is like
So she's
this is the doctor equivalent of like becoming a partner in a law firm.
correct. This is the we are now fully on equal footing statement.
That's
so
That's pretty dope.
So next
so that was why she had to.
next week it's going to be on top, right? Like
She will slowly overcome the other name and subsume them into herself.
They will merge into one larger name. Yeah, so that's what that was. But yes, okay, very cool.
No, that's
so
dope.
I will not directly touch the statues, but I have tongs on me, so I'll hold them out for Sharuk to look at.
Just drop him straight into his palm.
I'll just take the tongs and I'll just walk them over to him. I'm pretty sure these are made of black ice, so don't touch them, but if you wanted to give them a gander or put them in a sack for safekeeping.
Are they made
These
of
ones were in the
glass?
personal nightstand of the warlord, so
You should not take those with you.
pray tell specifically why.
Any symbolism of Dralkatur is a bad idea to carry with.
Is that who there's statues of?
Dralkatur is one of the overlords.
Ah,
He is a being of terrifying power,
Indrid will return them.
and the worst of the cold.
Yes, noted. Noted. There is also a secret passage, though. Shall we explore the secret passage?
Route ready if you are.
I was just making sure that everyone's in tow.
Sorry, I unlocked it. Shouldn't have. Go ahead and give me a disable device check.
I'll disable device. Alright, Sharut, your turn.
Yeah, you're like, I can't do this.
It's a door. It's probably got a handle.
That's not a door.
Made for
Somewhere?
small goblin fingers.
Sharut says.
Sure was.
He proves that it's made for small goblin fingers. Sharut, you, it's hard for you to even see the door at first, and then Dandrin kind of points it out, and you're able to, like, you know, I don't know, pull the little trunk out from under the bed and stand on it to start tinkering into the keyhole. But you are able to open the door. You see what looks like a very, very small room, and to the left of you in the very small room is a set of stairs going up.
Staircase.
You also see the back of a door, the back of the door being far less hidden than the front of it right here.
So it's swaying out. It's swaying out in that direction.
No, so what I'm saying is that this wall right here is
Oh, okay. There's another secret
there's
passage.
also a
That
secret
makes
door
sense.
right there. But you
That
can
makes
see
sense.
it because
Ah.
when you're back here, you can tell because the back of the door looks different.
Okay.
It looks like a door.
That goes to the throne room. That makes tons of sense.
Well, secret stairs probably lead somewhere special. In comparison to the other stairway, do we want to take this one?
Yes.
Up we go, but first, we're going to do the things that make it as easy as possible to make the check.
Yeah, so we'll start heading up the stairs, and when we get back from break, we can start on the second floor. So we are going to be right back, and I will see everybody in about 15 minutes. Let's say 9:30.
Sounds good.
Like a plan, everybody. See you soon, jelly spoons.
And we're back. Okay, so now that we are back, Dandrin and Sharut, you guys have found a small room with some stairs in it. While you are all doing that, Dillian, sort of keeping a safe distance. Are you doing anything else?
Probably just trying to keep myself, no, safe distance is pretty accurate. That's all I'll be doing.
Okay.
Until something, arises.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you're sort of like keeping a safe distance, every now and then when you have that thought, you just feel this safety in your head.
Like-minded individual, I see.
And
Persia just has not shut up about her dance school. Dillian tuned out ages ago.
Oh, most likely.
I'll occasionally tune back in and pick up what I've left off,
And then tune back out again.
and she goes, "Yeah, well, I first started learning the Tago back when I was, 4, like most people do." And you're just, ugh. You just tune back out.
nobles. Ugh.
Naturally talented, I continued with my studies until I was the best in my fourth-year class.
I had a rival, but I'm assuming they're dead now, and if they're not, I will be challenging them to a dance-off in episode 56.
The day we get out of this dungeon.
So Lumio, as Tertia is expanding on how fantastic it is to dance the tago. You do anything?
Running away, apparently.
Yeah, apparently he's like,
Yeah.
I can't.
Slowly but surely moving away from the continuous drone. I was going to go with fancier words, but it's a continuous drone. I'm going to walk through that doorway, see the stairs, and give them the deciding factor of, do I even take a chance on it? And
All
the
right.
thought is probably no. The stairs are the only way up, aren't they?
Most likely.
And we'll be coming back down them later, too. More resigning myself to the fact. Shall we get started on them? They look terrible.
I understand your hesitance, but it must be done.
All right. So, as everybody's climbing the stairs, please give me an acrobatics check. Since people have mentioned sort of like tying themselves off and doing what they can to make themselves as kind of like good at this as possible, everybody can take a +2 to this check. That participates in that. Tertia just walks up the steps.
Direct activates one of her abilities.
What ability did Zeract activate?
Zeract activates Second Sight. She gets an insight bonus to her check to climb the stairs.
Okay, sure.
And although it's not really visible through the rest of her clothing, like her neck lights up as her blood becomes magma-like and visible through her skin.
You monster. Okay, so this thing happens, but Lumio's tied to everyone. So, I'm assuming Dandarin to make me a strength check. And then I need Zeract and Sharut and Zeract and Sharut and Delian to all assist on that. Tertia, did you attach yourself to the rope with everybody else?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, no problem. So, Lumio, even with just Dandarin's checked, you totally made it. So, Lumio, you trip, you're ass over tea kettle again, but you don't go anywhere. You're just kind of on the steps and just sort of slowly being dragged up.
Prefer this.
All right.
Did you say you prefer this?
Yep.
All right.
No, kid.
And I will move everybody to the next floor. Where they, of course, will spawn outside of the building.
Wonderful.
Yep.
I shot away.
This is my opening.
I warned you about
Freedom!
stairs, bro.
From the back, you guys are able to realize that I apparently didn't put a door into this room. You're stuck here.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you.
I make a door here.
So that's the difficulty with going and like doing this whole like I gotta remember to put a secret door here thing, because when I make it in Dungeon Draft and then I port it over to Foundry, it goes, well, this wall is a wall, and then it's just a wall now. From the back, you guys can see a door. The door is basically between Zeract and Delian. It's right there. And when you open it, you will see the rest of the room. So I'm just going to delete this wall real quick. And I will properly draw it.
It's a hell of a secret door.
I just pressed the lever and the whole wall went down.
And door. There you go. Look at that. It's a door.
Right.
You're able to easily open it from this side. There's there's this big like sort of rotating lock thing, which is kind of why it was so hard to open before. And you are able to open it, and what you see when you first look out looks to be a pretty sizable cabinet / desk. Imagine one of those like huge corner desks that you see in like Office Max that nobody ever buys. And it's one of those. It just like 8 feet tall, and it looks like somebody has just smashed it right down the middle, so it just collapsed in on itself. There's a lot of broken things around it, but for anyone who would like, if you could give me an appraise check, and Dandrin, you will get a +2 to this appraise check. For any of my casterly types, if you would like, instead of appraise checks, you can give me knowledge geography or knowledge arcana.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So everybody but Sharut, apparently. Sharut, no idea. Somebody broke this stuff, so now it's broke. Everybody else. It looks like this is a place where people were trying to make things out of dragon shards. And so what you're seeing is like weapon hilts that are studded with them, or cups that are studded with them, that sort of thing. Delian, Delian, Lumio, and...
No, I didn't get it. I only got a 15.
I really thought you rolled higher than that. My bad.
No, my dice hate me.
Zoract, Lumio, and Dandarin, the three of you, as you're seeing this, recognize that these are dragon shards, and whatever was here was in the process of being crafted into something, but it hasn't been like fully realized. Some of these might actually be salvageable. Zoract, you can sort of see the ones down here with your light. It's just at the edge of being not too far away.
Yeah.
And Lumio and Dandarin, you can see some of the ones here. And it looks like some of these could actually potentially be salvaged. It looks like whoever came in here, I guess they hated this room. They knocked down some pillars. Zoract, you can't see the pillars because you're...
Nope.
I'm actually just going to go in and remove low light vision from you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that's fair, because you don't have it right now. So you can't quite see the pillars, but Tercia, you can. Somebody has like knocked down pillars. They have shattered every piece of furniture that you see in here. It looks like these were craft tables of some sort.
I don't know what happened here, but whoever came in here just really hates tables. Any sort of like livable surface you can use that while in a sitting position was just destroyed in this entire castle. Anyways, my school.
Yep, that's nice. Dandarin's just gonna start rifling through the dragon shards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a quick perception check to see what you're able to pull away with.
Sure.
So from this pile, you're able to grab about $1,400 worth of dragon shards, or 1,400 gold worth of dragon shards. Wow. They are in various states of size. So some of them are super small, and it's like these would pretty much only be used as like energy for a wand. And some of them are as big as like a couple of fingers long. And Zoract, it's much the same down here, but you're able to find about 2,200 gold worth. And some of these, again, they're sizable. You're seeing the ones that have already been put into things are either spent, like they were being replaced, or they were put into something and then that thing wasn't finished, whatever it was, when this happened. Since you're closer to the craft tables, there's more sort of in progress stuff near you, Zoract. But yeah, you're able to find a little bit more than Dandard.
So about a total of 3,600.
About 3,600 gold worth. In various sizes of dragon shards, and like dragon shards are money. If you can find someone to buy them, which you always can. But yeah, they're just these blue-black shards, or blue-black gems or crystals, and some of them have been carved and fitted, and some of them are still sort of fresh in their geodes, but they're dragon shards.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Dillian, as somebody who has broken into a number of sort of wizarding caches and taken I'm assuming taken a couple of these in your time. It's a pretty good find. So. Like this could power a number of gadgets and tinkerings and bits of artifice.
Cool. When everybody kind of looks away, or not even like. I don't care if Lumio sees, because Lumio's seen it already, but I'll just start, like, plopping shit into my coat, into my shadow, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Give me a perception check real quick.
Sure. Dice, you better not fuck me this time.
Hey.
I mean, a 9's a 9.
A 9's a 9. You're able to find about 1,900 gold worth of dragon shards.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just...
Of various sizes. They are... if it matters, because some items will be like, this item requires an Eberron shard or something like that. These aren't Eberron shards, they are Kyber shards. But everything that you're finding is Kyber shards.
Cool.
This does, for you, Tertia, sort of bring up the fact that, well, they were using them. And maybe this whole House Thrash thing isn't a total loss. There's got to be a mine or some place to get these around here somewhere.
Yeah, I'll probably notice someone like putting them in a bag or something. Like, hey, what are those?
Oh, these are dragon shards, specifically Kyber dragon shards. The things that mostly just exist down here.
So the moment you mention it, like her eyes go wide. She gets a little quiet. She's like, "Oh, great! My contract has been completed. We found dragon shards here."
We found them. They can be mined from this room.
Yes, here they are. And here they go. Into my pocket, one by one.
Oh yeah, you can have those ones. I just need a few as proof, basically.
Yeah, here. And he gives, like, the really tiny ones. Here's some ones right here.
Yeah. I mean, you found proof that it exists. That's probably enough to take back to Carol.
Yep.
So, cool. That's pretty much all that's in this room. It looks like this is a workroom that has just been shattered. Somebody came in here and broke everything, including the pillars that were holding up the roof. If the walls weren't so good and strong, this, the third floor might have collapsed in on this one.
Anyways, what about my school?
Oh, yes, about that. Where were you?
Huh?
The Route C door.
Points over that direction.
Yes, a door.
And I'll check it for traps. What is that? Just perception for traps, right?
Yes, it's perception for traps.
Wow.
It doesn't appear to be trapped. It also doesn't appear to be sort of like properly closed. It looks like something kind of maybe broke this down, like in one solid piece, and then put it back into the frame. This door doesn't open so much as it sort of like falls.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. We'll share this information.
Door will likely fall. May cause attention. Something big break. Put it back. Careful, Dandrin, if you would so kindly.
And kind of steps aside to let do the pushing.
I will open the door.
Yeah, you open the door. What you see in front of you looks to be a sort of centralized room. You see a pair of doors in front of you. You see columns. And you see red and white carpet on the ground, which you can kind of make out with the light from Zeract and Tertia's glow lights. You don't see any obvious threats. But yeah, that's what you see.
Right. For the moment, seems fairly clear, but let's keep our guard up just in case. And yeah, let's continue pressing forward. Forward, not yes.
All right.
Otherwise,
Off to your left, as you're coming out over here, you see a staircase. In front of you, like I said, you see two doors. Sort of behind you and to your left, you see a hallway and a door. And then to your right over here, you see an opening into a room that looks pretty messy. It looks like somebody has trashed that room, much the same as they have the room that you just left. The door is busted off its hinges, and it's just as you move around a little bit and get a good eye in there, it looks maybe like a library. It's kind of hard to tell.
we don't get a closer look. Looks like this might be a library with a set of stairs.
Root kind of
I
wants
will
to check
enter.
out the library, yeah.
Sounds good. So as Sharut and him go off, Lumio, were you checking something out?
Nope. Just missed the cue that everybody was moving forward.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like you guys are in a library. The library currently has a lot of books that are scattered around. It doesn't look like these shelves were burned the way the other ones were. There's a pair of essentially standing desks. These are tables that are at a comfortable height. This one for goblins, this one for hobgoblins. So probably very uncomfortable for like Delian and Sharut to stand at and write. Yeah, it just looks wrecked.
Is there any books intact on the goblin or the hobgoblin standing desk?
There's books everywhere. Like some of the books have been like torn apart and there's just pages spread everywhere. Some of them are actually like together and they've just been thrown around.
Sharut will peruse what's here, see if he can't find anything of major significance.
Sure. What would Sharut consider to be of major significance?
I suppose anything detailing maybe the rituals that were used in this place, or anything, because I'd assume there's already information on Kaldurg's relics, right?
There's some, yeah.
So, like, I would assume that the stuff that's more pressing is to find out about the rituals that happened here,
Okay.
because that I feel would be lost history.
Okay. Go ahead and
to
give me
the
a perception
con-
check.
Let's see.
You're able to find a tome, and it's like it's nowhere. It's not like it's on a shelf or something. You're basically picking up books as you're walking and like checking the titles or flipping through them. You're able to find a tome that sort of deals with like Resian magic, glyphs, sigils, and runes. And like that's probably the closest that you're going to come to precisely what's going on here. And even then, not knowing much about magic, you don't even know.
Sharut may find details on rituals.
He says to Lumio and Zerect.
Zerect immediately stops, turns, comes over.
He starts, paging through the book, holding it open so Zerect can see.
Yeah. Zarak, you want to give me a research roll real quick?
I do. Hold on a second. Shit. Do you have the site that we were using for that? I know that it migrated.
I do. One sec. I will bring it up. And that is a general feat. Damn it. That's annoying. One sec. It's not on that. It is in the skills. So it's a knowledge check, and you get a bonus based on the size of the library. Considering the size of this library, it would be +1, and you can just do it for a while. Sort of flip through and study. While Zerect is doing that, Delian, I know that you like your magical books, and Lumio, I know that you like books in general, and there are a number of those here.
I mean,
good.
I'll take a gander and kind of see, just to maybe see what my little bud knows as well. Just kind of like, what do you think? This one? What about this one?
So as you're walking around, the word that it sends you is danger, spirit.
Oh, well, that's probably Zeract.
And I'll point, like, underneath my coat, like, point at Zeract and be like, spirit?
Disagreement.
Oh, something else then. Well, I guess none of these books then. And, he'll just pop open his own book that he got from the other library and just kind of peruse that while everybody's just sort of
Okay.
looking at all these.
And Lumio, you're sort of picking around, checking stuff out.
Does there appear to be any booby traps like in the last library?
Not so much. No. Like there's not even many books still on the shelves in this library. So, and it looked like in the previous library, the main trap was linked to pulling something off the shelf. Mm-hmm. So this one, you're mostly just kind of rifling through the stuff that is on the floor.
Mm. I don't believe that the Connie had very many interactions with Warforged that I'm aware of. So I won't be looking for that in particular. Because I just don't believe I'm going to find it. So I'll be looking for things about the society and things like that, historical records, anything that I think Sharut would be interested in.
Sure. Do you have knowledge history?
I do.
You can roll me a knowledge history or a perception check to try to find something that would be worthwhile.
There we go.
You're able to find a couple of books that are about sort of general Dakani history, and it seems like it's kind of it's like the formation of the empire and like the bloodline of the kings. There was like a rumored sextet of kings, like the six kings of the Dakani empire, and this is like who were they and who could they have been, that sort of thing. It's like trying to take rumor and making fact from it. Not super good, but maybe something that could be used at a later date.
Yeah. Especially providing context from someone from this era versus one from the current era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just hold on to those and just carrying them with me rather than necessarily put them away. And I can put them back if I show them to Shrewd and he's not interested.
Sounds good. And Zeract, you rolled your knowledge arcana.
Mm-hmm.
You're sort of flipping through the thing that Sharut has, and you don't read Goblin, do you?
Oh shit, no, I totally don't.
Okay, so
I would need him to translate, which...
okay, so basically you see something at some point as he's flipping through it, and you're like, yeah, those are sigils, and those are runes, and those are glyphs, and those are sigils, and those are runes. And he comes to something where, like, you sort of see these sort of circular signs, like binder signs. And then as he flips, it does kind of show, like, layering them. And then it flips a little bit more, and it shows, like a body with one on it, and then it flips a little bit more, and there's like a body with two, and how you would do that. But you can't read any of it.
Yeah. This would be fascinating if it were in a language I understood.
Root can translate.
Perhaps now is not the time for that.
Any case, show to Darlal. She makes sense.
And he'll close it and put it in his bag.
Sounds good. I know that when you guys were upstairs, you were talking about what if we could find the way into that staircase that is sort of behind the statues. That would be that staircase. Like, it's not really behind them, like, not directly. It's sort of, like, off and to their, like, back right, and then there was one that was off to their back left, which is probably that other staircase out in the hallway. But that's the one that you were looking at when you opened the door before.
Okay, fantastic. Filling out the map.
Clear out rest of floor, then check statues. Sharut curious about spear and statue hand.
Alright. Then I
You're
better...
going to make us fight those things, aren't you?
If chance that spear is what Sharut think is, yes.
Sharut did not say this. Sharut implied it. You inferred it. But Sharut did not say this. All right. So, you guys have found some stuff. What would you like to do from here?
Well, Sharut wants to clear out the rest of the floor.
Okay.
I think this has been interesting, but frankly, Zeract would rather that we get on with it.
Yeah.
You're thinking you want to take the statues on now?
If nothing else, if there's going to be a magical artifact, it's not going to be in dusty rooms and broken bookshelves and porcelain plates. Like, it's going to be guarded by something. So, at a bare minimum, we should look up the staircase and then determine if we can make a break for the room behind the statues.
Okay. Before you go, Sharut's gonna raise his hand and say,
Give Sharut 15 minutes.
and he's gonna try and make another bomb.
Okay. So
This is one that I actually have to roll. So
okay. So while Sharut tries to make another bomb, are the rest of you going to be doing anything?
I'll probably be conversing with this unnamed thing, maybe asking its name, but, just trying to get to know it. We can play that out or not, depending on what everybody else wants to do. Otherwise, I'm fine.
Tercy is utterly oblivious to the fact that he's still talking to it and still talking to Leon about his school. Her school.
Because every now and then he goes, "Uh-huh. Oh, that's interesting." Yep. Like, he's inadvertently carrying the conversation on without fully intending to.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So while that's happening, Delian, you ask the thing's name, and the answer that you get is question.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Agreement.
That's your name? Agreement?
Disagreement.
Oh. Do you even have a name?
Disagreement.
You don't have a name. Okay. Do you want a name?
Question.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Agreement.
Yeah. I'm glad we're in agreement.
Content.
So do you want a name?
And when you say, "I'm glad you're in agreement," it goes, contentment.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we've reached this accord.
Me too. I'm glad you like the name I gave the school.
Yeah, what was the name of the school?
Eladra's Folly.
He's naming his school Bad Luck.
That's very funny.
Like, Eladra's the god of, like, fortune. Like, she might very well be the god that, like, Delian pays lip service to, if Delian pays lip service to anyone. So saying it's like Eladra's Folly would be like, oh, this is real bad luck.
That's amusing.
But yeah, so what was your next question to it? I didn't hear it.
Oh, it was just going to be Delian going, well, I guess I'll just start spitballing some. And he'll just, like, throw out some random names. I'm assuming it won't get it on the first go. But he'll just be ruminating, maybe be like, how about, wow, this is really hard. Do you have, Ray? No, that's dumb.
Give me a sense motive check.
All right. Oh, I don't have a great one on that.
You get a bonus because it's kind of attached to you.
Okay, but I can't break a 10 apparently.
Dude, this has been a real tough night for your dice.
Dude, this is pretty wild.
So as you're like mentally kind of tossing out name, you're like, what about Robillard? What about fucking Chamberpot? How about Susan? Like you're just throwing out names, and it just.
I mean, I don't know what kind of dance you'd do with that kind of school name, but
these are thoughts, Mike. Shut up. but as you're like mentally tossing those out, you get like it just keeps saying question. You get the idea that it doesn't know what a name is.
Oh.
Like it doesn't understand what you're asking it.
Oh. Wow, color me bashful. What do I call you?
There's a pause, and then it says, safety.
Man, you're so eloquent. I guess safety it is.
Agreement.
Boy, we're gonna have such fun conversations, I can tell.
Contentment.
And during this whole thing, at the end of it, like after the contentment, Dillian actually lets out just like this minor chuckle, and puts the book away, and just kind of puts it in his pack, and then just looks like he's, I don't know, he's just a little bit more happy.
Nice. So while that's going on, and Tertia's still telling you about stuff, Lumio and Dandarin and Zeract, you got about 15 minutes while Sharut is trying to tinker with things. Sharut, if you'd like, there were sort of broken work tables in there. There were also some other things. Also, if you want, because they're just so available to you right now, you want to throw some dragon shards in that there grenade?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, it'll increase your DC by 1, but it might have neat effects when it goes off.
That sounds real fun.
what could possibly go wrong with Kyber shrapnel?
Oh, nothing. We've never had anything go wrong with Kyber shrapnel before. Never, ever.
For some reason, Lumio pops into the room and says, "You're gonna like the way you look." Men's warehouse and walks out.
Don't tell Dandarin.
That was one of those.
Don't tell me what, he said, taking a shot from Dandarin.
Yeah, so you have spent 100 GP in shards. This will increase the DC of your alchemy check by 1, but you rolled high enough that it's fine. Doesn't matter.
It also decreases the DC or increases the DC of the grenade, correct?
It'll do things to the grenade.
Oh, well, we'll find out when that happens then, won't we?
Terrible things. Horrible things that'll haunt you forever.
Oh, this is going to be good. I can feel
Only
it.
good things.
You're making a grenade that deals fire and shrapnel damage, correct?
It is bludgeoning and fire.
Bludgeoning and fire. Okay.
Bludgeoning and fire, yes.
Sounds fantastic. That's what I like most about you is your sort of respect for the old grape shot. Okay, so while you're making bad decisions, Dandarin, you just waiting around? Zeract, you waiting around?
Yeah. I will, I'm just gonna take a look around and see what I can see that hasn't already been seen.
Okay.
Just trying to find a comfortable way to lean against a bookshelf without the fin getting in the way.
Yeah, you're basically at a point where it's like you have to do that like shoulder lean that like the bullies in the old 80s after school things do, where it's always just like one shoulder and then you're like leaned against it and arms crossed, ankles crossed. That's probably the most comfortable you can get right now.
Yeah, and if that shelf isn't bolted to the floor, it's moving.
All right. So this does take Sharut a while. Can I get from everybody a fortitude save? You all get a +5 to this. However, the DC is 17.
Nope.
I refuse.
Not add my +5, so that's a 15.
I got a 20.
God, it's chilly.
Good God, it's chilly. And Zeract and Sharut do not have to roll this. Delian, you are fine. Everybody else... Oh, no, wait. Lumio, you are also fine because you didn't add your +5. Tertia and Dandarin, the two of you, ain't fine. So,
I am already fatigued, unless that was taken care of already.
no. So you are fatigued from one of these checks. That doesn't get taken care of unless you become warm for a while. So the frostbite goes away.
Right.
You take 1d6 lethal cold damage, Dandrin. So do you, and then both of you take 1d4 non-lethal. It looks like 2 non-lethal cold damage. So Tertia, you take no non-lethal cold. You just take the lethal. And you are both fatigued. This is frostbite. It is a special kind of fatigue that stacks with fatigued.
Oh, so I'm exhausted.
No, so like you got fatigued from frostbite, which means so basically you have frostbite. If I cast a spell at you that renders you fatigued, you will be fatigued and have frostbite. You can have both. But since for the moment I haven't cast that spell, you just have frostbite. Does that make sense?
I was already being affected by fatigue, is what I was saying.
Yes, because it's frostbite. You failed a frostbite check last week.
Oh, so this doesn't give me
fatigue. No, it doesn't stack to exhaustion. I'm just saying that if somebody gives you fatigue on top of the frostbite, you can have both.
Got it.
Okay.
Sleep brain is hurting me.
No, it's fine. So you guys all wait. Sharut, you make a grenade. Delian, you have a nice conversation with people inside your head, and right when Tertia's like, yeah, I lost some stuff when when Seer went under, but I think I can get it all back, and you just give it this like, yeah. It's like this chuckle is just at like just not the best moment. And then you're all ready to go. So, are we climbing the steps?
Yes.
All right. I assume we're doing the tie-off?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay. It sounds like it's the tie-off with Tertia in the lead because she's not tying off?
Right.
Okay. So, I will move everybody together because it makes it easier to copy-paste you all. Actually, you're all on the 3rd floor. I can just move your pawns. Never mind. And I need from everybody acrobatics checks at a +2.
For me. I assume I'm not getting this +2.
No, because you're not tied off and doing the things. You're just
I didn't need it.
You're just fine. Okay, so it looks like this time it's going to be everybody having to hold up Zeract instead of Lumio. And I will roll it for Lumio because he just stepped away.
Zarak just starts falling, and Dandrin just grabs her and keeps walking.
So I will say this is because Zarak has been trying to keep back to walls. She pitches forward, and this is probably the first time you've seen the fin. So she's got a protrusion out of her back. Fine.
Dodge.
So, since 2 people failed, Dandrin, I need you to give me a strength check. And
I did give you a strength check.
you did indeed, bud. And Sharup's just also not doing it. Okay, so the whole group just ends back up on this 1st floor and takes 3 damage. As they just kind of like pop.
Why does the whole group fall
Because
down?
everybody is tied together, which is giving the strong people a chance to save everybody if they fall. But if you don't, you're tied together.
Yes,
Sharut.
but when they fell, I rolled a natural 20 on a strength test.
Yes. Wait, no, you rolled the natural 20 on... Oh, sorry, you did roll the natural 20 on the strength check. My bad.
Yes, I rolled...
I saw the natural 20... I thought the natural 20 was your acrobatics check, and I was like, oh yeah.
17
Dandrin,
was my acrobatics.
my bad. I took that as an acrobatics check for some reason. I was like, Dandarin cartwheels up the stairs and then falls down.
Dragged back, just eyes wide.
It's why I said
yeah.
when they start falling, Dandarin just grabs the rope and keeps walking.
Yeah. Never mind. Cool. So, also, real quick, Mike, for Tertia, are you tracking her hit points separately from the game somewhere?
No, I'm doing it in the sheet.
Okay, so I'm going to delete the 7 feet that I have you floating here.
Okay.
Because it's annoying seeing that. Okay, so you guys do slip, but Dandarin basically just plants feet and is like, you're not going anywhere. And so you will all be on the 3rd floor, but I will put you where you are. Let me get you all in a nice square or rectangle here. And then...
What?
Stop moving your character. I'm moving your character.
Okay.
All right. So at the moment, you guys are all like there. You have just managed to get out. Actually, some of you are probably still on the steps, but it's fine. That's where you are. You managed to get out. You managed to like brace yourself against the wall so that those who are falling don't go all the way back down to the bottom. You're up. It's very cold in this room, and you see the statues. And yeah, you see that this one is this big 4-armed thing, and 2 of the arms are still up towards the sky, and the other one is like holding the shoulders of this dude. They are both crafted from that black stone or maybe black ice. And yeah, you see a door right here. You see a staircase opposite you for those who have the visual distance to see that, which I believe is just Delian. But yeah, so what would you all like to do? You made checks last week or the week before last week to let you know that these are indeed carotid columns. You know that they are. So what would you like to do?
Ziract is gonna just kind of hold a hand up for quiet, and then point and make slow step motions with her hands to the far door.
Yeah.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that one.
Because in her estimation, now this is a 5-foot wide door, right?
Yes.
Okay. These things are fucking huge.
Yes.
The likelihood of them getting through that
the
door.
The small one is
small.
large, and the big one is huge.
Yeah. So Zirac's plan is get the fuck over there and get past them, and then maybe we can close the door and not have to worry about them.
Okay.
Sharut will start sneaking over.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay. Can I get a stealth check from everyone? And I want this from everyone so that I can see how badly Dandarin fucks this.
I would just like it known. I would like to follow the leader.
Ziract is going to get a +2 on this by taking that insight ability.
I'm just going to ask Dandarin to not screw this up for us because Lumio did the best he's ever going to do with this. But I can see your roll, so that's too late.
I got bad news for you.
I'm pretty sure it's even lower than that because I don't think he put in the armor check penalty from his shield, which is
I did.
Which
I don't think you understand how much I reduce check penalties because you've been constantly he's got such an insane check penalty. It's dude, I have -6 to my armor check penalty.
Is that really it? Because just the tower shield's a -10.
Oh, it's a mithril tower shield, so it's a -7. I am a shield master. -6.
What
and then
kind
I have
of
my
idiot
tower
gave
shield
you a
mastery
mithril tower
-5.
shield? Who would do that?
Then I just don't have armor check penalties for my armor because I have so many. It's master crafted, and I have armor mastery, and I've done my armor bonus.
I keep remembering that it's a tower shield and keep forgetting that it's a mithril tower shield. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna fail this by so much. And you're like, this thing is basically like a large kite.
It actually should be, I think, one higher than that, but it's not updating properly on the sheet for that tower shield mastery thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's actually forget, John Eric. I get a little chuckle, and it makes me happy because you're constantly regretting your past decision.
Look, if you're not regretting decisions that you made before, are you even living? Okay, so as the
Someone
group,
who gets many of his decisions. Yes.
as the
you are.
group slowly moves this way, and everybody's just kind of like, okay, be very quiet. And the soundtrack plays that little, like, the thing where somebody just alternates between two of the very high-pitched keys. Dandarin, you are still pretty noisy. And you see the head of the big one swivel your way. And it's watching and watching.
So I will stand put while everyone else moves silently away from me.
Well, I mean, you guys are in a big group that has lights in it. Like,
Yeah.
also, I'm pretty sure that you're still tied together.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna quickly undo that.
But yeah, like, you and Sharut are the only ones with dark vision. So, you know, like, Zarak has a torch and Tercia has, or Zarak has her, like, lantern and Tercia has her glowstone. So, yeah.
Drac doesn't actually need the lantern at this point.
Well, that's true. I don't know if you've put it away, though. You didn't say so I assume you didn't.
No, I haven't, because I don't know if anybody else needs it. I think Lumio is currently fucked, but
Yeah, Lumio
I have my
definitely
own
needs to
light
see-
source from Dillian.
No, I've just been.
in that case, Zarak, when she is able to break visual contact with this behind the pillar, will in fact douse her lantern.
Sounds good. I will... Oh, light radius.
She has dark vision 30 right now.
Oh, you have dark
From the
vision
curse.
30. That'd be dim vision 30. I want you to know real quick, this is probably not going to work because it just hasn't been.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'll come into play since Tertia is still carrying that light. Yeah, you remove the ropes. The thing is still looking at you.
Is it looking directly at Dandarin?
So it was looking at Dandarin because Dandarin's the one that made the noise. And then it sees all of you, and you see its vision just kind of scan over all of you. It looks like a very pretty, but also very severe looking hobgoblin female with kind of monstrous features, more so than hobgoblins already have, quote, monstrous features, because it has, like, you know, like the big teeth and the angular ears and the kind of like pug nose, because hobgoblins don't have much of a nose. It's just kind of like basically the cartilage. Their face is kind of skeletal sometimes. But the four arms, the top two ending in these huge claws, it's just this beastly looking large hobgoblin female made of like black ice. And it's just watching you as you're doing stuff. It hasn't turned its body so much. It's sort of just looking over its shoulder.
Okay. Sure, it's gonna move towards the door.
Okay.
Check for traps.
Sounds good. So, go ahead and give me a perception check. While you're doing that, what is everyone else doing?
Slowly, so slowly, moving towards door.
Agreed.
Same.
Yeah, same.
I'll probably, like, if I see that it's, like, looking at us, I'll just wave slightly. Like that timid, like, ha 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 sort of wave.
Andrew will stand in front of Sharut, protecting him from this thing charges.
You do that, and you get this thought in your head, Delete, of danger,
Oh, I'm well aware.
danger, fleeing,
Yep, well aware of that.
fleeing,
I wish I could.
protection,
Trying.
discontentment.
I am as well.
All right, and Sharut, you start looking at the door, and you're noticing a couple things. Number one, very iced over door. Not so much on this side, but like from what you're able to see through the little keyhole, like the keyhole on the other side, completely iced over. There's also a pinpoint of light coming through the door at the keyhole and a sheet of it coming through on the underside. And you also see that it is not trapped, but it is locked.
Shrewd think magic may be on other side. Be wary.
And he's
We
gonna
noted.
attempt to unlock it.
Okay. So, Sharut, you reach out and you kind of like take your picks and slide them into the keyhole. And from the south, in that direction, all of you hear that sound, that crickling, crackling sound of ice just shattering as the carotid column lowers its two upraised arms, turns around, and faces all of you.
Fuck.
It sort of takes the lower right arm and slams it against its chest, and you see more of this like sheath of ice just fall off it, and it starts thundering its way towards you. And that is where we will pick up next week.
Oh boy.
Man!
Danger.
Danger! Flee!
Fleeing. So, I want to thank everybody for watching. We will see you next week for, it's a fight that I imagine will be very, very fun and then ended very quickly when Dandrin's like, thundering blows. But
I pray for that.
Yeah, it's
I
just,
brace for the charge, get a critical, and kill it.
I would like to
with thunder
brace.
blows.
I would like to brace for the charge on the big charging construct. Well, no, that makes sense. So yeah, I will see everybody next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.